Hello and welcome to Downtown. I'm your host, Robbie Haig. Thank you for being here with us today. I am talking with an old friend, Claudine Leblanc. And it's so nice to see you again, Claudine, as it has been a long time.
It has. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And she is the Executive Director of Creating Marketing Results.
Yes, I am.
And I think very highly of your marketing results.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much.
So tell me about how you got to doing this sort of thing.
Sure. So I'm a graduate of Fairfield University, and shortly after school I went into healthcare. I was doing quite a bit in healthcare when we met.
Which is where we met.
Yeah.
That was quite some time ago.
Yeah, and marketing, community outreach, that type of work. And I worked here in Sandwich, actually, at Cape Heritage that many years ago. I worked for the Boston V&A. I did different work regionally throughout the Cape, South Shore, and into Boston. And then I had my children. And
they always hold us back just a little
bit, keep it close.
Which is good.
And within a few years after that, I went out on my own. And I have been doing my own thing this is now celebrating my 13th year.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
I love it.
good.
I love it. I love the flexibility, but I particularly love servicing a variety of clients and meeting them where they're at and helping them with whatever it is that they need. And it's pretty much custom marketing work. So whatever it is that clients may need, that's what I do.
And when you were in the healthcare, you were doing marketing there
I
also.
was doing marketing and community outreach and admissions and all that good fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, relationship building, business development.
Yeah.
And
People pleasing.
Well, yeah, ultimately.
And you love people,
I
and
do.
it shows.
I do. And I think it's kind of nice that when you get to connect people and really allow for your network to work together and with you and for you, it really helps, create marketing results for a lot of different people. So I like it. I enjoy it.
So you went from healthcare. What was your first venture? What was one of your biggies when you first got started?
When I first started, because I had been doing work alongside what was then Jordan Hospital.
Yes.
What
is still Jordan Hospital to many of us.
Right. Beth Israel Deaconess, Plymouth. But I had obviously known quite a few people there and was put in touch with the marketing department at the hospital. And at that time, they were looking for some help with their a Kids Health and Safety Expo, followed by another event out in the community over at the Pine Hills, a health event for the Great Island community. So there were a couple events that they needed some help with. And I did that. And I helped them coordinate, orchestrate, pull some things together with them collaboratively, and started that way. And I did that, and I also worked for another home care agency simultaneously at the same time, where I was helping them differently, and it morphed. And next thing you know, I did a big event up at the Independence Mall, and the mall wanted and said, well, this kids event was great. Is there any other types of events that you could do? And I said, what are you looking for? And next thing you know, they had me doing this massive bridal expo. We created South Shore's finest bridal expo and had 65 vendors up at the mall.
I didn't know you were part of that.
Yeah. We gave away a wedding. We gave away actually 2-3 different weddings in the course of a few years. Whether there, we did some at the New Seabury Country Club. We did them throughout the Cape. We did events, on the South Shore. We gave a wedding to the Halifax Country Club away. We did, it was great. It was exhilarating. It was fun. Made front page of the newspaper, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we gave away honeymoon. I think that was through Liberty Travel. We did a lot of work with Plymouth Plantation with their bridal. We did different events there. So it's been fun. It sort of morphed, and then what happened was Creating Marketing Results had really 2 divisions, because we were servicing marketing clients, but we also had expos and we were doing home and garden and kids expos and wonderful relationship with Moms and Dads Guide. As well as here on the Cape, we had some great business partners.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. We
Wonderful.
actually helped put together and sort of take America's Hometown Thanksgiving celebration, that event, to the next place in their New England Food Festival. This goes back several years. It's since morphed and gone in a couple of different directions, but we had our hand in that as well. So a lot of different fun projects. To me, one of the most fun and rewarding has been the Plymouth Lobster Crawl.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was a couple of years ago, and that was an idea that I had in the making for several years. When I went and visited, my sister was living in Virginia at the time, and Norfolk had the mermaids, much similar, and
Sure.
and that goes back, gosh, like 14 years ago when I first saw those, and. Matt Muratori, and he's wonderful, and we've done work together alongside each other, industry-wide, and I helped him with some of his campaign work along the way. And I said to him after the fact, I said, Matt, where would this be something, that would be beneficial, that somebody would like to do, work collaboratively. And he loved the idea, and he was in support of it very early on. And it just so happened it went, again, in a different direction, as things often do with who might be most interested. And Dennis Hanks at the time was the one that said, we'd love to work with you on this project. And that's how it started. So, yeah. So
They talk a little bit about the
lobster
the
crawl?
lobsters.
Yeah. My
they're
love
still
for the
out there.
lobsters.
They're
They
still-
are. Yeah, they are. So
They're about 5 feet tall, I think.
they're
aren't they?
5 feet, they're fiberglass, and yeah, they're awesome. I think what I love most about that project is my love of my community, business, and art. I actually am a novice artist, and I've always loved art. So to be able to put all my favorite stuff together and create that and showcase businesses and work together, that was pretty fun. So basically there are 29 lobsters that I sold throughout the community. Again, it's a collaboration. It was a collaboration with the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce,
And the arts.
and the arts. Oh,
North
sure.
Street.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody. It's been like a huge collaboration. So many different artists from that center, but then even outside of there, and different businesses throughout the community, not just necessarily chamber members, but all types of businesses that have expressed interest. So basically, sold the 29 lobsters, and they've been up now just about 2 years, and they're going to be up through November. But we have them on display throughout the community, some on private property, some that are on public places. And after the crawl was sort of established and set up, I was able to and wrote a book. I have Tales of America's Hometown.
Very good.
And yeah, that's fun. So we have books for sale, and those are going to be, only while the lobsters are up, pretty much.
Oh, really?
More or
Okay.
less, because
Well,
once the lobsters go, so if people are interested, that we have them sold in 6 or 7 different locations throughout Plymouth, and they're moving. They move. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing to me about the lobsters is that each one is done by a different artist.
I love that. Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah.
And-
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, that's okay.
Yeah.
And all of the information is at the base of the lobster so that people can read who designed it and so on. And if I'm not mistaken, it was in collaboration with businesses who kind of
yes.
paid for the lobster, and then someone did the...
There were 2 price points. Businesses could either purchase a lobster or more like on a lease option. And obviously, if they purchase them outright, they get to keep them after the 2-year art display. The others will go back to the Chamber of Commerce for an auction. And that's something that they're managing. That's not,
Oh, sure.
yeah. I'm not,
Yep. But you were ingenious enough to bring it to town.
yeah, I love it.
And so therefore, as far as I'm concerned, it's yours.
Oh,
it's your
thanks.
project.
It feels like my baby.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's transitioned, and certainly the Chamber of Commerce is, they've done a wonderful job and have embraced it, and running with it.
One of the things that they have done, and you know this, but I'm just bringing it out for those people who don't.
Yeah.
People who came to town, actually, they encouraged them to have their pictures taken with the lobsters.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so fun.
And then, to send it into the Chamber of Commerce. Here I am, from Dayton, Ohio, or some such thing.
I love it. I love going downtown and seeing everybody, taking every time, and I don't live far from downtown Plymouth, and so to be able to just drive down the street and see somebody taking pictures, it's truly it makes me smile from the inside out, because it's.
And of course, coming up with the actual lobster crawl to visit all of them and see how many you can visit.
Yeah. And I just love that the businesses have an opportunity to showcase, and be a part of something in the community, and they got to choose what was on the lobsters in collaboration with that artist. So there was some creative freedom for the artists, so that's kind of a win-win for them, and the businesses then have an influence, and so the lobster is truly a reflection of the business and the artist, so that's nice. Yeah, that's good.
Really nice.
Yeah.
So what is your next project?
Oh, I'm always working on different projects. Yeah.
Your brain is always
it's
hitting on all full steam.
Yeah, right. Well, as a single mom too, that keeps me busy, and through what they've got going on, and it's interesting. I did just recently finish a project with Cape Cod Healthcare. We worked with their Quality of Life initiative, and I helped them set up symposiums throughout the Cape. And what a worthwhile, amazing initiative they have, and really talking about choices, end of life choices, but not just at end of life, but how you want to live.
Absolutely.
And truly quality of life. So that was a wonderful collaboration of a lot of institutions, companies, organizations throughout the Cape with Cape Cod Healthcare. And, we went from pretty much all the way down and up and around all over Cape, and that was great. So that one's finished. I'm working on a project right now called Here Boston, and it's a lifestyle portal. It's really, we're actually just about ready to launch, and it's basically streaming, which is something that isn't so new, but it's certainly become more and more popular. And it's the Roku and the Apple TV, and just application on the phone, and you can get lots of information, very interactive, an app pretty much. So there's
for the purpose of
it's targeted to millennials.
Oh,
It's targeted to millennials. So anybody that is interested in reaching millennials, this is really where it's at. It's how they receive their information. So it's where you can have, from sports and weather and different media, all types of, I would say, entertainment, music, health and wealth.
Wow.
Yeah, so there'll be,
bit of everything.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it's definitely cutting edge, and it's a lot of fun. So, I'm looking and working with them with business development and business partnerships and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but
is it kind of sort of new ventures for those millennials to?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I definitely. If we really look at how millennials receive their information, this is exactly where it's at. This is where it's kind of headed. So it's a way to kind of meet them. Yeah, we'll be at the College Fest at Fenway Park on September 22nd, and you'll be seeing more and more of them throughout at all different types of events and music, concert, just everything. So it's going to be. It's going to be well. It is. It's happening. It's like it's coming live. There'll be a soft launch within the next couple of weeks, and a hard launch in the mid-fall. So stay tuned. I'll come back and I'll tell you more about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
So you're a hands-on person. We know that.
Yeah.
And you're part of a lot more things than you're even touching on right now.
I know. Well, I'm an entrepreneur, so like
Yes, you are.
I am. I really enjoy that. Going and making something happening. Just create something. I work also in the realm of holistic health, and I teach people how to use essential oils. Predominantly for everyday health and wellness, and I teach classes not just in the healthcare setting, but sort of throughout. Whoever is really interested in learning more how to use them, and I got involved with those when my son several years ago was diagnosed with ADD and needed to have a modification to some medication. And that's how I got started, because he really wasn't feeling great with the side effects of that medicine.
Really?
And yeah, and it's been life-changing.
It's
We use it
how
for
life does change.
and it's very cool because the company that I do work with is doTERRA, and that's the provider, and it's the leader in the industry for essential oils, and they really have a quality product, which makes all the difference. Otherwise, I wouldn't really want to, be involved.
Sure.
And so there's great quality measures there that speak volumes. But we've started using them.
I'm sure for that you have a website, do you not?
I do. I do have a website, and that's pretty much that business is an online presence.
Okay.
I teach. I actually teach online as well as in person, but I have an online store, and people can go to that.
If you would tell us your...
Sure, it's My doTERRA, and that's MYDOTERRA.com
Very good.
/ Claudine. Actually, it's Read Claudine. So
Okay.
I recently had a name change, so
Very good.
REIDCLAUDINE.
Very good.
Yeah. But you can always, I'll give you my information for my phone number. Somebody can give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to help them, with any of that.
And for a while, I do believe you were working with councils on aging.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love the name change, and so does everyone else. So talk about that.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
But it's so new to many people.
Right. So the Plymouth Council on Aging, we sort of morphed that and helped with that, and it's now the Center for Active Living.
And it's one of the busiest places in town.
It sure is. They do an amazing job over at that center. It's unbelievable. I've actually remember way long ago, Chris Shembry up, on Court Street. I think wasn't that 134 Court Street downtown?
Was at least 130 Court
Yeah,
Street.
right down there. Actually, where the Chamber of Commerce office.
That's right.
Right there. And that was so long ago. And I was actually working for a home care agency at the time, and they hadn't had an active friends group. So that goes back like in the early 2000s.
Oh, yes.
So we brought that back, resurrected that,
Yes.
resurrected the friends group, and we started a business sponsorship program for them. And so businesses had the opportunity to showcase themselves and their products and services and come in, and it's a nice little package. And they still do business sponsorships of the month, which for any business that makes sense for them to be in front of that population, that's a nice little program, and it's cost effective. So that's certainly something to look into if that's of interest. But we started that program that many years ago. Yeah.
And it was so effective. Many people didn't want to go to the Council on Aging.
I know, right?
That aging was
Yeah,
a downer.
yeah.
We're all doing it.
Yeah,
but we
sure
don't
beats
like
the alternative, right?
But we don't like to be reminded of it on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
Since the name change, and I think the name change has really gone to the state too, has it not?
Good. I have not been involved at that level, so I'm not positive.
Has. At one time, you had to be Council on Aging. Well, there's a name change. And Center for Active Living is exactly what the place is.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Bustling all the time.
It really is.
They have, the build it and they will come. They certainly did. They're looking for satellites again, which they did.
Wow.
20 plus years ago.
No kidding.
Yes,
Wow.
so.
That's awesome. I know that through home care sponsored me to go out to actually do a presentation and teach them, and that was huge for the essential oils. That was back in the winter, and the room was packed. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show how eager, on a few things really, it goes to show how eager and people really looking for other alternatives in healthcare,
mm-hmm.
Just a more holistic way. Mm-hmm. But I think it also goes to show the type of person that's coming to the center now, really vibrant, young at heart, people
totally
who
active.
Want to, really want to stay healthy, and it's a great place to do that. And I think the active piece is truly...
The active piece did it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they're also using Center for Active Living here in Sandwich.
Oh, good. I love to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's excellent.
The Council
on
Aging.
Well, I know like in Pine Hills, when I've done a lot of work in the Great Island community, that is their that's a buzzword, active lifestyle. That is their active lifestyle community, and they too are very active, and I know that some folks that live there are using the Center for Active Living. So they're
donating a lot of their time to volunteering there
yeah.
also.
I like that. That's so great.
It's such an interactive community.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And
it's so close to the high school. Oh,
I think of you putting that all together.
Well, it's teamwork.
Of course it's teams, but
like,
you have to have the idea before you can actually create.
Thanks. All good.
Yes.
I love that it's next to the high school. My daughter goes to that high school, Plymouth North. What a beautiful school that is. And, like the opportunity to engage and have those intergenerational programs is pretty awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I actually just was at a book signing for the Lobster Crawl, and Dr. Gary Maestas was at the event, and it was for the exchange, the program that they have in Japan.
Yes.
So
Shishiyagama.
Yes, I'm glad you said it, because that's like alphabet soup. But he wants, and he now has one of the Lobster books for every school in the district, in the Plymouth School District, and he's looking at ways to incorporate sort of long live the lobster in the schools, and stay tuned for that too. So fun stuff.
It just when it's fun stuff, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I know. I love what I do. I really do.
It's obvious.
Yeah, thank you. I'm blessed and I'm grateful that I'm afforded the opportunities to help others in so many different ways. Yeah.
And you're going from the schools to the seniors to yada da yada da.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much in between there. Even with the weddings, there's a lot.
That was a long time ago. I don't do so much.
But still, it's you're like I said, your brain doesn't stop being active. You're going from one to the next, and it's
Well, I really love creating opportunities where something didn't exist. It's really like it's birthing an idea.
Creating.
I love creating.
Yes.
Yeah.
It couldn't be more descriptive than creating.
Yeah.
You have.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the holistic health, and it's just.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how the Here Boston, that reach, because truly, it's going to be, it is a New England style lifestyle portal that is going to tap into millennials initially. But as more and more people are looking to our phones for information and how we receive information, that's going to be just fascinating. That's cutting edge. So
is it HEAR Boston?
Here, HERE. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And when we say Here Boston, that's truly regional. It's not just Boston.
Sure.
It's going to be, kind of the idea of New England. Think the Patriots, right? You know, our Boston teams. But yeah. So good stuff.
I think it's absolutely wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to leave us with?
You know, an invitation to those that have interest in anything that I shared today, whether it be looking for affordable business marketing development type plans, that it's like, oh, I can't possibly afford, you know, hiring somebody. A lot of times I do what a part-time, a full-time, you know, like whatever it is that you might need, sort of that creative piece, and help implement some of those marketing initiatives. So it's not just necessarily the really, you know, big clients. I help all people, you know, with their marketing. But also too, if you're interested in hearing and learning more about Here Boston and reaching the millennials, that's something that I'd be happy to talk with folks about. And naturally, if I can help, because I'm so passionate about helping others with, you know, holistic ways to stay healthy, I'd be happy to talk about that. So, yeah.
So your overall connect to the people is through TV?
On which aspect?
On all of your marketing. How would they get in touch with you for one of several of the things?
They can call me. They can call me.
You have the phone number.
I do.
Go
I do.
ahead.
Yeah, my phone number is 508-577-8277. 508-577-8277.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
And I'm pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, so if I feel almost a little bit like the website for what I do. It's not as vibrant and active, and so therefore, for me, it's the Facebook and the Instagram. And so much of what I do is just naturally word of mouth. I've been at it for quite some time now.
And it's not just marketing. I myself have done marketing for the healthcare field in the past.
Yeah.
It's not just marketing. It's the creative marketing, and you do truly add spirit to everything that you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been
I love it.
fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much.
Well, it's been wonderful having you here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks
It's
for
my
having me.
pleasure.
All right.
And for you out there, thank you for being here. This is your host, Robbie Haig, for Downtown, and I hope to see you all again real soon.